Hello everyone, it is Shadowswelm and I have the patch 5.13 notes for you all. You can check them out when you load up League of Legends or can listen to me tell you about them. So let's jump right into things. They are going to be releasing the new champion later on in this patch, and they've fixed and buffed and nerfed a few things, and yeah, we'll just get into it now. So the death recap screen, or the little pane that pops up, should tell you a little, better recap what happened to you, and you'll no longer see that revive did 12 damage to you. Slow stacking is not a thing anymore. Now only the strongest slow is applied, meaning if you have a slow, if your team has slows that are like, say, 25 and 75% slow, the 75% slow will, overwrite the 25% slow when it hits, and it won't be like a 25% plus 75% of, 25% plus 75% of 25%. No, it's not that. It's just, nope, you were slowed by 25%, now you're slowed by 75. Or, if it's 75, then 25 to 75 will stick until the duration's out, until another slow is applied that may overwrite it. And, that's pretty much it on that. Echo, they changed the attack animation as well as the updated recommended items. They fixed a bug where Jace's Mercury Cannon / Hammer weren't applying as they should at levels 5, 10, 15. They switched it. It was doing 6, 11, 16. Now it's 5, 10, 15. Callista, she's had her basic attack ratio lowered from 1.0 to 0.9 attack damage. Her base attack damage went from 53.5 to 57, however, and her base attack damage growth stat went from 3.25 to 3.5. So, yeah, she got changed in that way. It's a slight buff. Just a slight buff. Her Q, Pierce, can no longer be cast in mid-dash. KO, her Righteous Fury, she now gains, or passively KO's basic attack, or Kaylee's basic attacks deal 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, plus 0.15 AP magic damage on hit. And the ratio went from 0.25 to 0.3. I believe that's when you actually pop it and you're in ranged form. Kennen, they just fixed some bugs with him to where passive the mark of the storm fixed a bug in the tooltip where the stun duration was 1.25 seconds, but written as 1 second. And fixed a bug with his W, where it sometimes wouldn't apply Mark of the Storm to enemies within Slicing Maelstrom. So yeah. Nautilus, the damage on his Q went down for everything. It's now 60, 95, 130, 165, 200. Down from 60 to 220. On damage on first wave, and max damage went from 90, or it's at 90 rank 1, but got a 30 damage nerf at max rank. Went from 330 to 300. So that's not terrible. Rek'Sai, his knockup radius went from 200 to 160, so got nerfed slightly. Shyvana's W got nerfed ever so slightly. It now goes 20, 33, 45, 58, 70 damage per second, down from 20, 35, 50, 65, 80. Singed, he now gains magic resist per level. His base magic resist also went up from 30 to 32.1. His magic resist growth stat is up to 1.25 per level. His fling root duration, if they land in the slow, went from 1 second at all ranks to 1, 1.25, 1.5, 1.5, 2 seconds. And, yeah, Singe now laughs whenever he flings an enemy. Skarner fixed a bug where his passive was being able to be used on turrets. Now it's not. Syndra, they just fixed some things that had to do with her sphere and yeah. Sorry, text message. But yeah, her Scatter the Weak, it now no longer breaks upon hitting Yasuo's Wind Wall and Braum's Unbreakable. It now just stops instead of being destroyed. Fixed a bug where Scatter the Weak, the knockback and stun sometimes didn't apply to units hit. And just fixed a few more bugs. Like, fixed a bug where Scatter the Weak could propel Dark Spheres being prepared for unleashed power, and units stunned by Dark Spheres are no longer knocked back. And unleashed power, same thing as the, Scatter the Weak. The Dark Spheres intercepted by Wind Wall and Unbreakable now just bounce off of them instead of being destroyed. Thresh, his passive Damnation, fixed a bug where souls would appear to fly to Thresh from extreme distances, and Scuttle Crabs now spawn souls, so that's good. His W, Dark Passage, the Lantern now does not despawn while Thresh is mid-flight towards his death sentence target. Vigar, he's evil, stop laughing. His Primordial Burst, missile size now scales with Vigar's AP, so the more AP you have, the bigger it's going to be. Hold on one second here. Xinjiao, or Xinhao, however you want to pronounce it, his AP scaling with Battlecry went down from 0.7 AP to half AP. So, quick paper, not good math. You had 100 AP before, it would be 70 AP you'd be getting. Now it's only 50. Alright, quick simple math right there. Zillion, his Rewind can no longer be cast when both Q and Time Warp are off of cooldown. So whenever his E and Q are off cooldown, W cannot be cast. Pulsefire Ezreal, his attack animation and basic attack visuals have been more responsive. Yeah, and that's pretty much it for champions. Items, they changed Enchantment Devour for the jungle items. General, it now starts with 30 magic damage on hit. For large monsters, you get 1 stack per takedown, which is a kill or assist. For epic monsters, 5 stacks per takedown, which again, kill or assist. Pretty much takedown, take that as a kill or assist. Champions, 1 stack. Rift Clutter, 2 stacks. Ghost Dog is a new thing on Devour now. While stacking your Devourer, while stacking your Devourer, you are accompanied by a Ghost Dog who will grow with stacks. And we are combined at 30 stacks. Ghost Dog merges with the Wielder at the Devourer, and the Devourer transform into Sated Devourer. It no longer gains stacks, and this is new on it, every other basic attack triggers on hits twice. Meaning if you were, say, I don't know, Yi, that would be OP as hell if Yi could still scale off of AP pretty well. Enchantment Runeglaive, Spellblade, or the base AP went up from 40 to 50. Spellblade ratio went from 0.75 basic attack damage to 1.0. And fixed a bug where Runeglaive was applying spell effects such as Crystal Scepter, Landra's Torment, and Luden's Echo. It now no longer does that. Righteous Glory had its health down while cooldown went up, so now you get 500 health from it instead of 600, and cooldown went from 60 seconds to 90 seconds. Spirit Visage got a buff. When the healing bonus went from 20% self healing to 20% to all healing. So yeah, if somebody with Spirit Visage gets healed by, say, Raka, Janna, not Janna, I'm sorry, Raka, Sona, anyone. Yeah, that 20% extra healing. That's good. AP items. They got switched around a little bit. Blasting Wand now costs 850 gold, down from 860. Needlessly Large Rod. The cost went from 1600 to 1250. The AP went down from 80 to 60, however. Rabadon's Death Cap. The total cost went from 3300 to 3500. You now need a Blasting Wand, Needlessly Large Rod, Blasting Wand, and an Amplifying Tome, plus 935 gold. The AP is still 120 you get, but the bonus AP, or bonus percentage, went from 30 to 35%. Zani's Hourglass is cheaper, but has less AP, and now costs 3,000 gold from 3,300, and the AP went down to 100. Luden's Echo cost went from 3,300 to 3,000. AP went from 120 to 100. Movement speed went from 7% to 10% increased movement speed. Ryla's Crystal Scepter cost went from 2,900 to 3,000. AP is still 100. Health is still 400. Recipe has been changed. It's now Giant's Belt, plus a Needlessly Large Rod, plus Amplifying Tome, plus 315 gold. The single target slow went from 35% to 40%. AoE effects went from 15% to 40%. And damage over time, or multi-hit slows, are now 20% for 1 second, up from 15% for 1.5 seconds. Summoned minions such as Mordekaiser's ultimate, Annie's ultimate, now also slow on hit 20% for 1 second, and they added new particles. Archangel Staff, the recipe has been changed and the gold has changed as well. It now costs 3,000 gold, up from 2,700. It's now Tear of the Goddess plus Needlessly Large Rod, plus 1,030 gold. And the AP base went from 60 to 80. Seraph's Embrace, the AP went from 60 to 80 as well. Rod of Ages, it's now changed a little bit as well. Total cost is 2,700, down from 2,800. Base health is now 300, down from 450. Base mana is now 400 from 450. Health growth is unchanged. Mana growth went from 20 per minute to a maximum of 200 mana over 10 minutes to 40 mana per minute, which is 400 mana after 10 minutes. And the AP growth went from 2 per minute, scaling up to 20, to 4 per minute, scaling up to 40. So it's gotten an AP buff, as well as a mana buff and a health nerf. So, let me double check that. Yeah, health nerf. So it's a little better now, in my opinion, for somebody like, say, Rise. Haunting Geist, total cost went from 1,450 or 1,480 to 1,500. So they buffed it up to, 20 extra gold. No big deal. Landry's Torment went from 2,000 gold total to 3,000 gold. It's now Haunting Geist plus Blasting Wand plus 650 gold. The AP went from 50 to 80, which is good. Void Staff, the cost went from 2,295 to 2,500. AP went from 70 to 90. Nashar's Tooth, total cost went from 2,920 to 3,000. The attack speed went from 50% to 40%, while the AP went up to 80 from 60. Will of the Ancients, now Spell Vamp is 0%. what happens now is your abilities heal you for 15% of the damage dealt, calculated before your opponent's resistances. And it's 33% effect for AoE. Morellonomicon, total cost went unchanged. It's now a different recipe, however. It's a Fiendish Codex, plus a Forbidden Idol, plus Amplifying Tome, plus 445 gold. So, yeah. And Athene's Unholy Grail, same thing, except you don't need the Forbidden Idol. It's now Fiendish Codex, plus Chalice of Harmony, plus Amplifying Tome, plus 545 gold for the same total cost. So that's pretty much it for items. Turrets, all the base health turrets have been decreased, or all of the turrets have been decreased with base health. Outer turrets went from 1850 to 1650. Inner turrets, which are your second turrets right before inhibitors, went from 2050 to 1850. And inhibitors went from 2350 to 2250. So 200 health nerf on the outer ones, and 100 health nerf on the inhibitor. For Twisted Treeline Crystal Scar, Needlessly Large Rod exists. For Wooglit's Witch Cap, pretty much costs up. Recipe includes Needlessly Large Rod over Blessing Wand and Amplifying Tome. So it's now Seeker's Arm Guard plus Needlessly Large Rod plus 10,050 gold. Or 1,050 gold, sorry. Total cost went up by 50. Luden's Echo is now a thing on Crystal Scar. They did visual effects for, updates rather, for Nunu, Rumble, Shyvana, and Brand. Just his W, however, this time for Brand. So his Pillar of Flame got a visual effect increase, whereas it should be all around for Nunu, Rumble, and Shyvana. That's pretty much it for anything that affects gameplay. And then we've got skins, which we've got Master Chef Tam Ketch, Gentleman Nar, and then Chroma Packs will be available for Bard, Grim Reaper Karthus, and for Gnosis. Looks like for the Dread Knight Gnosis. So, yeah. All of those are good, in my personal opinion. Anyway, guys, that's it. Let me know what you guys think about the patch in the comment section down below. My name has been Shadowswolm. If you got any questions, feel free to ask. And as always, I will talk to you all next time.